Live game on Sky Sports, wasn't it, here from the City Ground? Nottingham Forest against Liverpool. Teddy Sheringham with the winner that day. Who is going to be able to step up and provide a winner here? If you'd watched the first 15-20 minutes, you'd have put your mortgage on Nottingham Forest winning this at a canter. But the momentum swung back firmly towards Leeds as they take on what is a bit of an East Midlands odyssey. Early on this season, they hosted Derby on day one, came up second best. And now, you would have thought was a tougher assignment, a trip to one of the hardest places to come last season in the Championship. Only Newcastle's fortress of St James's Park yielded fewer points to visitors. That's loose by Bertrand. Bradley Johnson pounces for Leeds.
Well, Bradley Johnson has got a rocket of a left foot normally. Not one of his best efforts, but Billy Davies will be worried about is, once again, defenders just giving the ball away for absolutely nothing. Giving it away in a dangerous area. Not the start to the second half Nottingham Forest would have wanted.
Probably could speculate that quite high on Billy Davies's list of half-time pointers was don't do exactly what Ryan Bertrand did there.
It's dangerous, isn't it, when anybody plays a square ball, you run the risk of it being intercepted, but as a defender, it puts your team in a really bad situation, or it can do.
And Bradley Johnson could have his best goal-scoring season of his career last year, but score since October.
Leeds will want Nottingham Forest to try and force Forest to look longer. I feel that Naylor and Collins at the back cope easier with that than some of the sharp movements we saw earlier on in this match. In order to force Forest to play longer balls, got to keep closing them down, defence at the back.
Here's Sanchez-Watt. Shepherded out by Wes Morgan. What Leeds will want to get the opportunity to do, Don, is just remind Nottingham Forest that they lost their last 5 pre-season friendlies. They lost on the opening day at Burnley. They were knocked out by Bradford of the Carling Cup. Just to try and play on those little insecurities.
Absolutely.
Billy Davies deep in conversation with Mason Tyson just before half-time. Wouldn't have been a surprise if a change was made at the break, but both managers deciding to stick with what they started with. They've been in a slightly tinkered formation that Leeds are playing with here, and it's worked to good effect for them. Going to find the front man there, Bessoni, his compatriot Becchio.
Certainly started the second half more on the front foot, haven't they, Leeds? Maybe they've really believed they can go on and win this game. They've certainly finished the first half stronger.
Only one player going to win that, and that was Neil Collins. I hope that he'll finally, if he's able to get promoted with Leeds, be able to get the chance to play in the Premier League. When he went up with Sunderland, was surplus to requirements after that. Likewise when with Wolves. Maybe it'll be third time lucky in that respect for him. Morgan. Gone Barak, they found Cohen, who in turn just couldn't pick out Earnshaw.
Just look for a second, as if there's an opportunity developing there.
Well, you often see defenders get away with that, but Kelvin Wilson isn't going to. Tony Bates, the referee, giving Leeds the free kick.
Well, I think he's helped by his assistant referee. It's just a little nudge, eases Becky off. It's a soft one to give away.
And here's the score of the Leeds equaliser, Lloyd Sam. Connolly in, a deflection. It could have been a hindrance, but turned out to be a help.
Just one or two frustrated supporters you can hear around and about. Nottingham Forest supporters, that is. He can't pick that ball up, whereas in the first half he was able to pick it up and roll it out to somebody and get play moving. He wasn't able to do that then.
Well, Dexter Blackstock, the victim of a Leeds challenge here that Tony Bates has to have a word with someone about.
Richard Naylor is very late, isn't he? The ball's gone. He's a referee that likes to keep his cards in his pocket, Tony Bates, wherever possible. A couple of challenges that may have warranted a yellow card with a less lenient referee.
Cohen sweeps it in. The centre halves combined to clear for Leeds. And the central midfielder for Nottingham Forest. It's no longer Preston. Paul McKenna couldn't pick out a teammate.
Well, it's not really got started the second half yet, has it? No real fluency to it.
This will suit Leeds, though, won't it?
I was going to say that. It will suit Leeds a lot more than it will suit Nottingham Forest. There's a recent history of draws between these two teams, isn't there? 5 of the last 8, is it? Something like that?
Absolutely, yeah. And as Simon Grayson told us before as well, he knows his side, despite illustrious reputations and silverware of eras gone by, come here as the underdogs. They're the ones who've just come up to this league. Therefore, the onus is on the hosts to force the issue, just like they did at the start of the match. But have struggled to do since. Earnshaw, he's one who, with a swipe of the boot, can change things. Neil Collins got his head to it well. Now Lloyd Sam loses his footing. And eventually loses the ball as well. Majewski. In goes Kilkenny. I wonder how much longer Tony Bates will keep his cards in his pocket for.
He's been put under pressure by a couple of reactions from Nottingham Forest players. Neil Kilkenny, when you choose to fly in like that, you're always running the risk. He's clearly late. It's the boot of Majewski. It's a clear yellow card. I don't know what anybody's complaining about.
Lip readers among you may think what Neil Kilkenny said. Majewski trying to get the whip, but not really getting the distance on it. Bradley Johnson away. Back in by Wilson. From coursing with confidence early on, suddenly there looks to be a little bit of crisis of it now for Nottingham Forest. You mentioned those groans just starting to pour down from the Trent end.
I think he'll probably analyse the next 5 or 10 minutes or so. If it continues in this vein, I'm pretty sure Billy Davies will make changes.
Well, the season may be a new one, but the memories and the scars of what happened here in May are old ones. Patience tends to be short with the modern football supporter as well. Kilkenny will take this free kick for Leeds. Wilson will clear for Forest.
It's very much got an even feel to it now, this game, hasn't it? Not really sure which way it could go. Nottingham Forest look a little more fragile, a little nervous. They're not moving the ball around the way they started this match.
Sam, terrific work by Lloyd Sam. Fired across the face of goal. It just needed a touch, but Leeds couldn't find it.
It seemed to go in between three Leeds United players. It's great work from Lloyd Sam, and again the defending's going to leave a little bit to be desired, but just yet three of them there, look, just goes in behind Becchio, in behind Bradley Johnson, and just too far in front of another Leeds player.
He used his head to equalise for Leeds in the first half. Very nearly used his feet to set up a goal to put them in the lead for the first time. Bertrand for Forest. Gunter. To the wall that is Naylor at the back for Leeds. Morgan. Owen coming forward. Collins coming across. Sony doing his best to contain Majewski. Cohen's cross towards the far post. Now Anderson. Bertrand. More lively, more incisive from Forest. And Bertrand couldn't get in behind Sam, tracking back well.
At least it's given the home supporters just a little bit of something to get their teeth into. Leeds United wanted a free kick. Lloyd Sam cleared that. Bertrand seemed to be pulling him a little bit.
Majewski with the corner. Becchio at the near post. Just doing enough to make sure it didn't fall to a red shirt. Majewski able to bring it away from Howson. Gunter's cross, Michael able to leave it.
There was good movement in the middle from Dexter Blackstock and Rob Earnshaw. This Gunter just doesn't get enough bend on this ball. Two strikers going in on that.
Seems to have been around a long time, doesn't he, Chris Gunter at Cardiff, spell at Tottenham now here, still in his early 20s. Wrestling match between Morgan and Becchio. Both felt they were fouled.
It's a very difficult one for the referee to call, isn't it? Becchio gets the other side of Wes Morgan. He's backing in and there's a coming together. Impossible for the referee to call.
Probably did get it just about right.
Yeah,
though,
I would
he?
agree, yeah.
McKenna. Offside against Chris Cohen. He's a talented footballer, this young man, isn't he? But he definitely falls into the utility role. Left back sometimes, left midfield, right midfield. He's playing tonight, this afternoon, I should say.
He's a good player. Certainly clubs at championship level, smaller squads, less resources, need one or two players that can be more flexible.
And the fact in a much rotated side that Cohen is one of the regulars tells you everything you need to know about his importance wherever he plays. For Billy Davis's cause. Blackstock, the scorer of the Forest goal, trying to help Earnshaw. You remember earlier on, hit the post just as he did against Burnley last week.
Neil Collins does well there. He reads that little 1-2. It's across to help his central defensive partner.
Anderson. Morgan. Wilson. Injury down over him before the match.
It's interesting, isn't it, when Nottingham Forest central defenders are on the ball and look very nervous in possession after that mistake. They're both very tentative, as they were in the first 20 minutes or so. They were crisp and decisive.
Maybe attack the best form of defence for them just now. It's broken down though. Majewski, a little lightweight in the challenge. Kilkenny for Becchio. Running into a red cul-de-sac, doing well to keep possession in fact. Howson, now Johnson. Sanchez, Watt and Becchio in the middle, but the delivery from Bradley Johnson not quite what was required.
That's both teams actually now in the second half have worked themselves into good areas out wide, but the quality of the crossing is just leaving a little bit to be desired at the moment.
Earnshaw trying to make something out of what looked like nothing for Forest. And it ends up being just that, unfortunately, for those of a red persuasion.
Paul Anderson went mad at Robert Earnshaw again. He felt he could have rolled that back to him time and space. Thought it wouldn't be long before Billy Davies did do something if the game continued along the same lines, and looks like he's going to do that.
Well, that's Gareth McCleary. If he comes on, would probably occupy a wide midfield role. Maybe Paul Anderson's time will be up. Just unable to keep it in, Lloyd Sam. So time for a change. Off comes Anderson, on comes Gareth McCleary. Not too hot for Bertrand to handle. Schmeichel comfortably cleared it away, straight down the throat of McKenna. Kilkenny, Howson. Here's the Argentinian fullback Bassoni. Bradley Johnson. Back to Bassoni, who tried the back heel, wins the throw. Loose. Bradley Johnson has come away with it. An injection of pace into the attack. And the Leeds United fans are absolutely fuming. They felt there was a foul or an attempted foul on Bradley Johnson very early on in the build-up. In the end, the free kick's gone Forest way.
He's very, very aggressive in his running here, isn't he, Bradley Johnson? He could have gone down there, but just he holds his arms in the air to make sure the referee knows that he doesn't pull the defender back, but there's a little coming together of legs. The referee has seen.
Becchio very nearly sliding out of what looked like some vice-like Nottingham Forest defending.
You can hear the tension around this ground now, can't you? Last time we were here, we felt that, didn't we, the night Blackpool came here.
Right on the margin from Kasper Schmeichel. That's the problem we touched on earlier. There's a new season, but because they set the standard so high at home, just one defeat in 21 games here was that one against Blackpool. And it's not going their own way. It gives the away fans, the away players, something to get their teeth into. We're in that sort of territory now.
Well, they're not losing, but like I say, it's expectancy. They started like an absolute whirlwind, didn't they, as well? And it's haven't been able to re-hit those heights.
Here's the substitute McCleary. Support behind him from Bertrand, and here from Majewski. Bertrand now, he's skipped past Sam, he's done that well. Not quite so the second bit, but it's alive. It's McCleary. Now Lloyd Sam. Majewski wins it back for Forest. McKenna, now Cohen. Bessoni and Howson. You look at the list of absentees for Leeds United, and I know they've still got a quarter of this match to negotiate. If they can come away with something, it'll be doubly satisfying without Max Gradel, who's influential at times, but still suspended after that red card against Bristol Rovers last season. And Sanchez Watt, one of those who's playing in his place, staking his claim, and doing well here as well. Still Sanchez Watt, blocked by Wilson. Kilkenny. Connolly. Sam. Well, certainly taken down off the wall there, it looked like, by Ryan Bertrand, who will probably end up in Tony Bates's notebook for that.
Well, Leeds just enjoying a little bit of possession there down on this right-hand side. Better movement, heavily involved, isn't he? There's a wrestling match going on there, and Ryan Bertrand can't get away with that. Referee Tony Bates sees it all.
Well, Kilkenny, the man you just saw in the background there, the recipient of the game's only yellow card so far. Bertrand joins him. One apiece in the scoreline, one apiece in the cautions. To make a change here before defending this set piece, Forest. Radislav Majewski replaced by Nathan Tyson. Both goals coming from headers so far. Three-quarter mark of the match. Kilkenny sets his sights for Leeds United. Becchio. He was right there, he's got his head in his hands. What a chance.
Well, he must have thought until the very last seconds that he's just heading this into the empty net. I think it's Wes Morgan that does really well. Sticks with Becchio, just does enough. Both him and Kelvin Wilson put enough pressure on Becchio to get that danger away.
Kilkenny now with the corner, grappling between Collins and Morgan. Howson now for Leeds. Bradley Johnson. Another corner. This is excellent Leeds United pressure.
Well, it is. For the first real time in the match, you feel that Leeds are in real ascendancy, just building up a head of steam in front of their own supporters, congregated behind that goal.
Thousands of them in the lower tier of the Bridgeford stand. Trying to suck the ball in and very nearly managing to do so.
Well, they should be in front, purely and simply. Sanchez Watt finds himself in all kinds of space. He's leaning backwards, he's going backwards. He really should be redirecting this on target. And that's a big, big chance for Leeds to take the lead here. They did. They caused all kinds of problems for Nottingham Forest from those set pieces there. There was all kinds of grappling between defenders and attackers.
Howson finds Becchio. And by a margin, this is Leeds' best spell of the match. Bradley Johnson. Bessoni busting a gut to keep it alive. and winning the corner. That's the reward for endeavour.
Well, this has got to be a real worry for Billy Davies here. Hassani does well, doesn't he? Just flicks the ball back and Tyson can't quite get out of the way of it. They have caused problems with these set pieces in the last 5 minutes, Leeds United.
Forrest might feel it was out before the touch that won the corner, but here is the corner. Camp, he spilt it but recovered really well at the feet of Naylor.
He'll be relieved. I think he's taken a blow to the head for his troubles. He may have a cut as he goes up. It's full stretch. Can't quite gather the ball, but he's very, very brave, and it's the knee of Neil Collins collides into his temple.
On a warm afternoon, the treatment for Lee Camp gives everyone a chance to get a refreshment. It gives us a chance to remind you why we stand, how we stand. Such a good start from Forrest on.
Well, it was, and this was the least that they deserved to go ahead after 9 minutes. A great header from Dexter Blackstock, but Forrest, masters of their own downfall, allowing that ball to come in, and Lloyd Sam getting on the end of it. It's another good header. We're all square. I would have thought before a ball was kicked that Leeds would have been maybe happy with a point coming here to the City Ground this afternoon.
Well, if Sanchez Watt had headed it as well as Lloyd Sam did for that second, they would be ahead as well.
Well, he's been in the thick of it, hasn't he? Becchio. Lots of contact in the penalty area. There's Becchio in the middle of your picture there. Richard Naylor, and Blackstock's got his arms all around Richard Naylor there, wrestles him down to the ground, and if any of the officials see that, they have to give a penalty. Look, right in the middle there, 2 arms, and he's hauled down to the ground. And I think, like myself and like everybody in the ground, the officials must have been looking at Becchio in and around his area to miss that. Maybe that's your argument for the extra couple of officials behind the goal. They need to take a deep breath here, don't they, Nottingham Forest, because they've been on the back foot.
I was just going to say, this break will suit them very nicely. Well, bravery from Lee Camp for the Nottingham Forest cause. Speaking of which, that man put his body on the line a few times, didn't he? Current England under-21 manager, Frank Clark, a former manager here at the City Ground.
Billy Davies has used that little break to try and get some messages onto his players, who have looked a little bit disorientated. Spoken about the problems they've had in the past of not converting chances. They could have been 2 or 3 up, couldn't they, earlier on in this match, and it's coming back to bear them. I noticed that in their 7 pre-season games, they only managed a total of 7 goals. Goal scoring must be one of his primary concerns.
He's nearly ready to go. Just wonder, when you're a player, Don, and you pick up your match programme and you see the words of the chairman saying something like this, why spend your life training to do a specific role only to clam up or hide behind excuses when you're required to perform?
Heavy, strong words, aren't they? I'm not sure how wise they are.
Challenges, he says, are for the successful, and they're to be enjoyed, not feared.
Everybody's going to form their own opinions of that.
Mentioned before the difference between help and hindrance. I'm sure Billy Davies will have his views as well. Well, Leeds trying to pick up where they left off and doing a pretty good job. Wilson will go into the book for that, no doubt about it. In many ways illustrating exactly how Forest are feeling on the inside.
Leeds have grown and grown and grown in confidence as the game's gone on. There's no question. Now the strikers are able to get the ball turned and run at the defenders and draw fouls and free kicks, from which Nottingham Forest are struggling to cope.
And the chance for Kilkenny to get it in now. That away more orthodoxly by Morgan. McCleary. Johnson hungrier in the challenge.
Oh, Leeds, look at that, last 10 minutes. It's been theirs. Not only have they had the possession, but the territory as well, and they've asked questions of that Nottingham Forest defence that are struggling to answer at the moment.
And if they can keep this up for the next 10 minutes, it would be a surprise if they didn't get themselves in front for the first time this afternoon. Kelvin Wilson was there to meet it. Tyson to clear it for Forest. Earnshaw, the only man in red anywhere near it.
Taking no chances.
Back to his old stamping ground of Meadow Lane, that one, I think.
Nearly was, wasn't it? Yeah.
"39 years since Nottingham Forest started a season with back-to-back defeats. 1971, under the former Leicester City legendary manager Matt Gillies, they lost their first 2 games to Liverpool and Leicester. Not losing here, of course, but they have started to lose their way. Bassoni. Too high for Becchio, that one. Earnshaw's touch and a nudge in the back as well from Naylor, the Leeds captain. Here's Chris Gunter. McCleary.
He telegraphed that, didn't he, to Bassoni. Everybody in the ground knew that McCleary was going to try and go down the outside, including Bassoni.
Well, they've made a couple of changes, Nottingham Forest, but they haven't been able to change the tide.
No. They've got McCleary now on the right, they've got Tyson on the left, and Chris Cohen has moved into a central midfield role alongside Paul McKenna.
Becchio appeals for handball, not given. Was on the blind side for the referee and the assistant. Didn't come immediately anyway to anything. Forest really struggling to get out of their own half for the first time in the match.
It's just breaking down when the ball goes up front. It's not going up front with any real quality. It's making it very difficult for Blackstock and Earnshaw to try and hold it up and bring other players into the game. And that might be the reason for this particular change that we're going to see.
Time to go direct. Time to use that third remaining substitution.
Well, there's a coming together in the penalty area there. All kinds of stuff. I think arms were raised.
Frustration. What in the thick of it, isn't he?
Yeah.
And it's still going on, spilling over. The referee needs to get a grip here. Frustration's boiling over in the goal mouth.
Pointing the finger, aren't they? A few people pointing the finger. Really shouldn't be getting involved.
Well, it was not far off 12 months ago that at that end of the ground there were similar sort of scenes when Derby played here. Nottingham Forest got in trouble over that one. So too did Nathan Tyson, you might remember. Well, he's in the thick of it here. Well, pretty much everybody is.
Well, he needs all the help he can get here, Tony Bates, the referee, because he couldn't possibly have seen himself what has gone on. And all the officials in conference there, finding out what each of them has seen before they make the appropriate judgments.
What have they seen? Are any players going to see a card of any colour? The conference continues. Now that calmness has temporarily descended, The card's going to appear. Well, Chris Gunter is the man being called towards Tony Bates. Sanchez Watt as well, the two in the eye of the storm. And those are the two who will take whatever is given out.
We spoke about this referee not being one to enjoy dishing out the cards. Lead me to think that that would be yellow, yeah. I think he's only sent one person off in his last 49 matches, but Chris Gunter stamps on Sanchez Watt's foot. Bradley Johnson sees it. And it all goes on from there. I mean, that's terrible. What is that all about? If you've got to resort to that, it's a sad indictment.
And Sanchez Watt unlucky to get a yellow card. Chris Gunter very lucky to get a yellow card.
Correct. Yeah. Is that a sign of the frustration of Nottingham Forest? Possibly.
Certainly points that way, doesn't it? And what it does do is just turn up the furnace, add a bit of heat to the cauldron for these final 10 minutes or so.
There's still other issues to be resolved here by the looks of things.
The assistant on the far side came a long way over to have a word, didn't he?
Kevin Wilson's already been booked, hasn't he? Got to calm down some of those players out there.
It looked like all the punishment had been dished out, but he still had some words to say, Tony Bates, and now they're ready to get back and underway. Bassoni's cross deflected into the arms of Camp. Tyson holding off the attentions of Connolly for now.
What that whole incident has done is inflame the whole of the ground, isn't it? Now all the Forest fans are, I don't know why they're not happy with that challenge. Both sets of supporters going to be claiming for everything.
Bowen trying to get round the outside, doing well as well. Kasper Schmeichel not getting a lot of distance on the punch. Away by Bradley Johnson. Ripples from the ructions still going on. Simon Grayson having a word with the assistant referee. Nottingham Forest want to make another change and send on Big Guy Moussi, an enforcer in midfield.
Could be in for a very interesting 10 minutes or so here.
Well, we had quite a lot of time added on for the treatment to Lee Camp. Long stoppage as well as the discipline was meted out. The scorer of the Forest first, when all was plain sailing for them back in the first 10 minutes, withdrawn. And the big Frenchman, Guy Moussi, will come on for the final. Well, it's 6.5 plus stoppage time, isn't it?
That's plenty, I would think.
Wilson. And in case you missed it in the kerfuffle, 2 yellow cards given out. One for Gunter. And one for Sanchez Watt. An offside flag up here, so a free kick for Lee Camp to launch forward.
It's going to be interesting to see what the aspirations are of both these two teams now as we move into the final stages. Can either of them really push on for that winner?
Off the head of Moussi to Sam, Leeds goal scorer. Schmeichel, who's really had a quiet afternoon since he was forced into one early save, and to pick the ball out of the back of his net hasn't troubled him much since.
Listen to that. unrest all around us. Set behind that far goal there.
Leeds so often on the other end, aren't they, when teams over their 3 seasons outside the top 2 tiers came to Ellen Road and started getting something. This was the sort of treatment they had. Bradley Johnson going through, but going down a little too easily, you feel.
Way too easily. As Morgan does what any manager would want his defender to do, and he just leans across to Johnson.
Musi. Finds Gunter and a little bit of space down the Forest right. Good run forward from McKenna. Here he is. Cohen. Sanchez Watt. Where's Morgan? Now Bertrand. McKenna. Musi. Better spell of possession this for Nottingham Forest. Bertrand. Ryan Bertrand. A bit of nudge there from Lloyd Sam. That's what the fans in the Trent end are appealing for.
Well, it's a poor decision by Paul Connolly, isn't it? At this stage of the game, should be clearing his lines there.
Sure. It'd be just like him to pop up with something. As it is, he's popped it right back to Leeds. Off goes Sanchez Watt, renewing hostilities with Gunter. Another coming together, and again this one appears to go against Watt. Let's have another look at the real flashpoint though, Don.
Well, Sanchez Watt comes over, there's a little nudge and a little push, and they're both animated with each other. It's all a bit messy, isn't it? It shouldn't come to that.
Sam. Kilkenny. Howson getting forward for really the first time in the match. Very nearly picking out Sam, but not quite. Now McCleary, pulled back by Howson. Just how much was Chris Gunter provoked there, Don?
Well, he goes over and he treads on Chris Gunter, doesn't he? He's gone with his right foot, tread on Gunter's foot, not happy, and he retaliates. And you know, they're both as guilty as each other, aren't they? It's not what we want to be seeing on a football pitch.
The initial thought, having seen just the Gunter stat, was that Sanchez Watt had been the victim of some slightly harsh justice. Maybe not.
No, certainly not.
Maybe equal punishment is fitting. Becchio just stealing in ahead of Morgan. Bassoni. Now Howson, powering forward for Leeds. Becchio. Lloyd Sam strikes it. Now Kilkenny!
Oh, what a block Ryan Bertrand puts in there before the Kilkenny strike. As Leeds work this, get a little bit of luck. Becchio rolls it across. It's a great strike, but there's the block from Bertrand, and Kilkenny goes oh so close.
Well, this young man is on loan from Manchester City, Adam Clayton. Hoping to give Leeds the edge in these final few moments. Replacing Lloyd Sam, who, as it stands, has given them a point out of their visit to the East Midlands this Sunday lunchtime. Who knows, maybe they'll get more. Early signals are that there could be as many as 6 added minutes to the 90. Bertrand overtouched it and Clayton went in a little over eagerly. Just a free kick, nothing more.
Get a roar from the Forest fans when they see this board go up to indicate those 6 extra minutes.
The on-loan Chelsea fullback Bertrand. More wrestling inside the box, and Wes Morgan is the one who's penalised. The defender Neil Collins getting the benefit of the doubt.
It's the assistant referee that gives this decision.
Confirmation of the 6.
Plenty of time. It's a long time in football, 6 minutes.
It seemed like even longer to Billy Davis. I hope that they can recapture the form, Forest, of the opening 6 minutes of the match. It's a classy bit of defending, an element of risk as well from Cohen. And at 6 minutes in, certainly you should have your question answered, Don, about the desire of both sides. Who wants to win it? Probably mission A at the start of the day was to get that first point on the board after both suffering open day defeats.
I think he'll be pleased with the character that his boys have shown this afternoon, Simon Grayson, because to withstand one heck of a start from Nottingham Forest and just lost their way. Nottingham Forest, after the first 20 minutes or so, lost all the fluency that they had to their passing and their movement.
And Nathan Tyson is in behind here. Naylor certainly looked to have a hand on him. Tyson is up, play goes on. McCleary. McKenna. Here's Bertrand. Musi. Tyson.
It's a poor cross from Nathan Tyson, but I tell you, he does really honest here, because Richard Naylor's all over the back of him and he could be very easily going down. It's good, honest play from Nathan Tyson.
It's Wilson's head, but it's at the feet of Kilkenny now. Johnson. It's more typical of Wes Morgan's defending than the lapse of judgment which led to the Leeds equaliser. But it's back with the Yorkshireman. Howson. Bessoni. Just behind Becchio.
That was a good move, good build-up play, wasn't it? Linking up down that left-hand side.
Clayton, slightly wayward. McKenna. Offside against Earnshaw.
Well, he comes from a long way back there, doesn't he, Rob Earnshaw, and he's onside. That's very unlucky to see the flag go up.
Couple of minutes to force the issue, whether it be for Forest in red or Leeds in blue.
It seems like a long time ago that we had the last real either goalkeeper had a save to make, isn't it? The game been played in the middle of the park.
Well, you're looking at positives for Forest if it stays like this after back-to-back defeats at the start of the season and a whole host of them in pre-season. They've stopped the rot in that respect.
You can always find positives if you look hard enough.
Leeds will certainly be the happier if this is the way it finishes in a couple of minutes' time. After all, this is a fixture, whether it's played here or at Ellen Road, that more often than not ends in a draw. Here is Earnshaw.
Surrounded by 3.
High ball perhaps from McKenna, certainly uncharacteristic. Clayton looking for Becchio. Support arrives from Clayton. Now Connolly. Kelvin Wilson's header, helped on by Cohen. Becchio, Howson. Bradley Johnson. Bassoni hoping there's time for one more foray forward.
The ball went out of play. We said it was a fixture with a history of draws. And looks like we've got another one to add to that list now.
What it does do is extend Leeds' good run against Forest. That'll be 9 games unbeaten against them in 3 different leagues since they lost here back in 1996. Brian Roy scoring in the Premier League. And so it is that Forest's opening home game ends with a draw. It looked to be heading their way. Everything was going their way early on as Simon Grayson's Leeds side were on the ropes. An early goal inside the first 10 minutes from Dexter Blackstock, and the sun was shining. But Wes Morgan's mistake invited Leeds back into the game. Lloyd Sam's header, and in the second half, Leeds looked most likely to. A little flashpoint as well to add a bit of fire to proceedings between Chris Gunter and Sanchez Watt. Both sides could perhaps have ended with less than the full complement of players, but both, as it is, ends with a point. So let's get some reaction then. Patrick Davidson is down on the pitch with the Leeds goalscorer, Lloyd Sam.
Lloyd, how much character did Leeds show to take a point from that game?
Yeah, I mean, after the first game when we lost against Derby, we really needed something from this game. When we went 1-0 down, we kept our heads up. And as you said, we showed good character to get back in it.
What were you thinking during those first 20 minutes? Because it was pretty torrid for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite frantic, but we knew it would be like that. We knew they would come on to us. And it was a shame to go a goal down, but I suppose they deserved it at the time. But we just dug in, and we could have even got a winner in the end.
And your goal gets you your first point of the season. I know it's early days, but that's just good to settle everyone down, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we needed to get a point on the board at least today. And, I mean, it's a good result, not on the Forest away.
Did you score many headers?
Well, the goal I scored on Tuesday was a header too, so...
The Wayne Rooney effect.
I mean, a goal is always good, however you score it, so I'm happy.
Well done, Lloyd. You are the Empower Man of the match. Well played.